Tokyo, 1942. Female high school students, who will be going to China to serve in the war against China, are practicing their team. Europe, 2007. Amsterdam, the capital of the Netherlands, is known as the City of Festivals, and the Dutch, whose ancestors came from pirates, are now rich and free. They organize about 140 festivals every year to celebrate various activities, and the scene below is the Sailing Festival in Amsterdam. We all put a variety of old-fashioned sailboats to drive out soaring, some or their grandfather to do when the pirates left, really worthy of the former sea master. 1956, United States. California, a group of sexy models promoting fertilizer. California has vast lands, as well as many large farms. California, USA is so awesome that its GDP, if ranked as a separate economy, was 5th in the world last year. (1956), Kuwait, man walking a deer. A colorized photograph shows British archaeologist Howard Carter and an Egyptian assistant examining the sarcophagus of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, following the tomb's discovery in 1922 by Carter and his benefactor, Lord Carnarvon. King Tut was not buried in a pyramid. He was buried in a tomb in the Valley of the Kings, which is located near the modern city of Luxor. 1991, Shanghai, rush hour crowds. A costume armor decorated with antique-style embroidery, made in France at the end of the 18th century. A depiction from the Congress of King Haakon I of Norway 920–961. Peter Nikolai Arbo 1860. A female firefighting team on a converted motorcycle in London, 1932. A mom asks not to kiss her baby to avoid catching a bug, 1939. An Iron Man of the past in a diving suit. An abandoned 19th century hearse from Dresden, Germany. An ultra-light horse-drawn car in traffic Paris, 1943. Ancient Egypt to modern Egypt. Armor of Spanish Armada Commander Medina Sidonia, Spain. Arrowhead bearing the AR symbol for Albert, King of Bohemia and Hungary, who reigned 1437–39. The details are breathtaking. Blown Nigeria Onitsha Bridge in 1967. British archaeologist, Howard Carter, pictured here with some indigenous Egyptians with the statue of King Tutankhamun in Egypt, outside the Boy King's tomb. Devon Island, known as Telurudud in Inuktitut, in Canada's Nunavut territory, is the largest uninhabited island on the planet, with a landscape so cold, rocky, and isolated that scientists have spent 2 decades there pretending it's Mars. The seasonal simulation expeditions. Charles Godefroy flies through the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. Did you know that the first English-language weekly newspaper printed in Asia was the Hickey's Bengal Gazette? It was founded by James Augustus Hickey, an Irish printer who published it in India between 1780–82 until the East India Company seized the paper's types and printing press. Did you know the term box office may have emerged in Elizabethan England? Money boxes were used in Shakespeare's time to bring money collected from plays to an office for counting. They had a slim opening so money could only go in and not out, so they were smashed for collection. Dr. Louis Sayre, checking the curvature of the spine, 1870s. Drinking vessel in the shape of a fist. Hittite New Kingdom, reign of Tudhaliya III, 1450–1300 BC. Elizabeth Eckford ignores the screams of students on her first day integrated into a Little Rock high school, 1957. Frederick Patterson, the first African American to manufacture cars. French civilian woman pours a drink of cider for a British soldier. Gold belt buckle with the theme, Scythians resting with their horses under a tree. 4th to 3rd century BC. State Hermitage Museum. Group of tribal men, women and children, 1880s. Hiroshima in 1945 versus 2020. 78,000 people perished instantly when the U.S. dropped an atomic bomb on the city of Hiroshima in Japan on August 6, 1945. In 1960, computer at NORAD. Invasion and attacks of the Vikings between 790–1066. Knitted gloves from the 17th century, Hungary. Last known photograph of a Barbary lion before presumed extinction. Like today, once upon a time, young couples caught up over wine and cheese at cafes. Paris, 1960. Lifeboat carrying Titanic survivors, 1912. Lina Medina from Peru, the youngest confirmed mother in medical history, gave birth to son Gerardo on May 14, 1939, at the age 5 years and 8 months. Linda Carter pre-Wonder Woman in the 70s. Map showing the areas of activity of North American pirates. May 28, 1999. Following nearly 2 decades of restoration, Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper was once again open to public view in Santa Maria del Grazie, Milan.